Hello and welcome to The Long Couch. My name's Carl. I'm joined tonight by Mel.
I never know what to say. You always say I'm joined by Mel, and I always forget that you pause and let me say something to sort of introduce myself, and I never have anything to say.
Just say
So,
hello.
hi, adoring fans! Thank you so much for tuning in to yet another fantastic, whimsical, and slightly sexy episode of The Long Couch featuring Carl and Mel.
This isn't just another episode. This is our season
No.
1 finale.
I had no idea that this was coming. In true nature of the show, I had no idea this was coming.
So I figure 12 episodes is a pretty good season. So to wrap up the season, this is our big finale extravaganza. First off,
Yeah.
I will be conducting a quiz in which I test Mel's knowledge of everything we've covered thus far. And after that, we will be reviewing some of our spiciest comments.
Oh, nice. Cool. I get to see all of the people who have progressively gotten more fed up with me on YouTube Shorts.
Yes.
I'm really excited. I have a lot to say about this section of the podcast. I can't wait to get there.
But before we do, you will be tested.
Naturally. I can't believe this. I didn't realize this episode would be such high stakes, but I guess it is a season finale. Gotta go out with a bang, I suppose.
It's not enough that you were just present for these episodes. I need to know that you retained the information that I provided.
Yeah, that I've been paying attention.
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm ready. Whatever you throw at me, I am not only prepared for, but vehemently excited for, enthusiastically prepared.
That's the spirit.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get a single one of these wrong.
Okay. Bold
Yeah, I don't know
claim.
about that. Yeah. I'm going in with confidence. That's like half the game is just being confident. The other half is actually knowing the answers.
Let's hop into it then. Question
I'm ready.
number 1. Not exactly a question, but more of a test of your knowledge
Oh my
about
gosh.
sinful characters.
Okay, well, going all the way back.
On the right, I've got some sins listed in red. And on the left, I've got some characters listed in yellow. So they are as follows: pride, greed, wrath, envy, lust, gluttony, and sloth. On the right, we have the characters: the Dude, Woody, Quagmire, Augustus Gloop, Naruto, Kratos, and Mr. Burns. Now, Mel, it is your job to work your way down the list and match the sin to the corresponding character.
Okay, I am almost positive that I have this down.
Okay.
Okay. Pride would be Naruto. Greed would be Mr. Burns. Wrath would be Kratos. Envy would be Woody. Lust would be Quagmire. Gluttony would be Augustus Gloop, and then Sloth would be the Dude.
Excellent.
Yeah, let's go.
So far, you're at 100%.
All right, that's subject to change at any time though. I mean, that could be a much lower number by the end of this podcast episode.
You hardly skipped a beat with that one, and that was all the way back from our first episode.
I was really confident about this one because there's also you can kind of pick up context clue. I know that Kratos isn't a sloth. The man works hard.
Right. I tried to be a little bit tricky, but not make any question that was totally like some small tiny thing that I mentioned at one point in the episode that you have no chance of recalling. So,
You should have had one question that was totally there to fuck me over.
well, let's see if that question actually is already in here. Okay, let's move on to the next question.
Let's do it.
Which of these characters struggles with pride, greed, wrath, and envy? So the options are Garfield, Walter White, Mr. Krabs, and Jessica Rabbit. So which of these characters struggles with pride, greed, wrath, and envy?
Wait, which of them struggles with all four?
All 4. There's only one character here
Fuck.
that struggles with all 4 of those listed sins.
Okay, I feel really confident that it is B, Walter White.
Correct.
Yes. I can't believe I'm in the hot seat right now. This is crazy.
Yeah, and you're nailing it so far. But we've got plenty more questions to go.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, this could go anyway. It's really anybody's game.
That was the first episode, so we've got to get through the remaining episodes here.
Yes.
Next question.
Oh no.
Why are chili peppers spicy?
I got this one wrong the first time around. So it's not the seeds. So I remember thinking the seeds were the primary source of capsaicin, but it's not. It's the pepper's placenta.
Correct.
I know this because one, my pride took an incredibly heavy blow when I was so confidently incorrect about that one.
Uh-huh.
But also I have watched that short a lot. I watch our shorts a lot. Like I'll just watch them on repeat. I just think we're so funny. I'll get on YouTube and I'll just fucking our shorts are the only shorts that I watch on YouTube. I've never watched another short.
Yeah, I try to avoid any short form content like that.
Yeah, it kind of something to be said about that, right? The format we benefit from the most is the one that we avoid consuming ourselves.
Yeah, well, other people like it. And I mean, how am I going to sell somebody on come and watch my hour-long podcast? Nobody wants to do that.
I really hope that going into this, you weren't like, oh, Mel's going to just flunk this. Big ol' fat F like Mr. Crocker.
I want to make you look good here, right?
Okay, I appreciate that. You're setting me up. It's like, oh, wow, Mel's so smart for getting all of these right. Who would have known that he had such an ability to retain information like that?
If you get them wrong, that reflects poorly on me.
Oh, does it? You're a poor educator?
That's right. That means I did not convey the information well enough.
Okay, well, you know what? I will do my best then to, sort of present such a display that is a reflection of not only what a model student I am, but also what an efficient and functional educator you are. This is going to be good for both of us.
In the misconceptions episode, we also talked about George Washington Carver.
Oh, fuck.
So while he did not invent peanut butter, he did invent blank.
Oh, fuck.
The options here are Nutella, instant coffee, crop rotation, or food irradiation.
Fuck. God damn it. I wish I had like lifelines or something. This one I'm actually struggling with a little bit. So I know I'm just gonna get rid of Nutella. I don't think it's Nutella. That doesn't make sense. Instant coffee, I also do not think is correct. I think it's either between C, crop rotation, or D, food irradiation.
All right, well, you got a 50-50 chance then.
Yeah, irradiation is I feel like a very notable word. I'm very invested in phonetics, and I feel like that's a word that I would remember us bringing up. So I'm going to go with C, crop rotation.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, the only reason I got that right is like I said, I'm invested in phonetics and I just don't remember irradiation. And I feel like that's a word that I would have remembered.
Very good.
Oh, I didn't breathe that whole time.
Now we're going to move on to our horror movie cliches episode. So, which of the following horror movie cliches occurs in Scream, the original from 1996? A creepy child appears. B. Someone investigates a suspicious noise alone. C. The virgin final girl survives. Or D. The black guy dies first. Which of these cliches occurred in Scream?
This is a tough one. I don't think it's a creepy child. I feel like to some extent I would have remembered that. It's not C because they subvert that in the beginning of the movie. I feel like, or at least no, I don't know. That might. Well, I know that someone survives at the end. I don't remember if she was a virgin or not. This is tough. This is one in which I'm answering with complete reckless abandon.
Well, can you eliminate any of these?
I can probably eliminate A, and I can maybe eliminate C because I know that as a spoof, Scream was a little bit subversive, and I feel like the opening scene subverts C. I'm between B and D right now, and I don't think it's D. I'm gonna go with B.
Correct.
Oh my god, dude, that was a tough one. I'll tell you right now, that was a tough one.
So there's no creepy child in Scream, and the final girl of the movie, Sydney, is not a virgin by the end because she had sex with Billy like almost before he turns out to be the killer.
That's right.
And then the black guy doesn't die first because there is no black guy in this movie.
Yeah. Wow, really?
I think there's a couple instances of someone investigating a suspicious noise, but I was specifically thinking of the principal when he gets murdered. Well, somebody's knocking at his
Yeah.
door and causing a ruckus, and he goes to check it out alone. Yeah, it doesn't end well for him.
Okay. Yes, that is okay. Hoof.
All right. Which of the following horror movies is not based on a true story? Is it The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, Psycho, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, or The Nun?
Fuck. Okay. I know for a fact that The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It is based on a true story because I watched that movie and I would remember a movie that sucked as bad as that one. And I remember that movie being based on a real life case. Yeah, the movie sucked. I'm very familiar with it. Psycho, although I do love it, I don't remember it. I mean, I know that a lot of people say that Norman Bates the character is sort of built upon Ed Gein, but I don't think Psycho was ever marketed as like based on a true story. So I'm going to probably go with Psycho, but let me think for a second. Texas Chainsaw Massacre at first glance sounds like there's no way in hell it would be based on a true story, but I mean, I'm sure that there's probably there's some parallel there with a real life scenario. The Nun, another garbage, shitty movie that I hate, but I can't remember if it's based on a true story. See, I feel like you're gonna get me because with the Psycho thing, because people say that Norman Bates is based on Ed Gein, but I don't think. But the movie, I'm gonna go with B, Psycho.
Incorrect.
No, what the fuck?
Now, I mean, maybe I worded this incorrectly, saying that the movie is based on a true story. But, of course, The Conjuring is based on a true story. They advertise that all over the place.
Yes.
And both B and C are based loosely on Ed Gein.
Oh, you got me. That was a trick.
You
that was a
figured
trick
that out,
question.
But
You
still,
tricked me.
Still, the obvious one, The Nun, is not based on anything, really.
What do you mean? What do you mean the obvious one? The obvious one that I didn't
That
pick?
story
Come on, man.
is of a demon nun haunting a convent. I mean,
Bro,
that didn't happen.
They say supernatural demonic movies are based on true stories all the time.
Didn't happen. I mean, you had the answer. You were saying,
I know.
he's based off Ed Gein, right? Well,
I know, but that's not the story. It's just they take an inspiration.
I'm gonna have to take a point off for that one.
I feel like you tricked me. I feel like I've been tricked. I've been swindled, and I don't appreciate it. But whatever. We'll move on.
It's a one bad mark on this test so far.
I know, and that's it. Like my life's over. I had a lot weighing on this.
Well, you know what, Mel? If you can get every other question right, I'll give you that point back.
Oh wow. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Double or nothing.
All right. Next up, we're moving on to our cartoon theories episode. So, what Fairly Odd Parents character does not have pupils, contradicting the pupil theory? Is it Jorgen von Strangle, Trixie Tang, Veronica Starr, or Juandissimo Magnifico?
I'm just gonna go right out the gate because I'm having a hard time remembering who does not have pupils. Because it's the theory is that humans have pupils and fairies don't. And I think that Veronica does not have pupils because that's Trixie's best friend. And like, there's a theory about her being a fairy or whatever. But I'm gonna say C, Veronica.
Incorrect.
What? I thought that she didn't have pupils.
So the theory is that fairies are the ones who have pupils.
Oh, I got it reversed.
So, Jorgen von Strangle does not have pupils, and he is a fairy.
God damn it, that was... I'm so upset. I got it backwards. If I didn't get it backwards, I would have said Jorgen. Fuck!
What clue or clues led Toy Story viewers to speculate that Andy's parents are divorced? They get a puppy? Andy is introverted? They are moving? Or Andy's mom seems depressed? So,
This is where it goes downhill.
you can pick multiple options out of here. So which of
This-
these are clues that Andy's parents are divorced?
This is where things go downhill. I've got 2 wrong in a row, and we're about to do a hat trick and get a third one. I have no fucking idea. I'm gonna say. I mean, they move in fucking Toy Story 3, or he moves to college in Toy Story 3. I don't. Fuck. Do they have a puppy? When was the last time I watched Toy Story? Jesus. Man, I really have squandered quite the lead. And I will continue to squander.
Even if you get this one wrong, you still have the majority right.
I'm gonna say I don't remember a puppy, but I feel like they got a puppy. I feel like that's a thing that he got. I'm gonna say, do they move? And that he moves in the third movie, but that's the college movie. A and B?
Incorrect.
God damn it.
So A and B are both correct, yes.
Oh, I guess that makes me feel a little bit better.
But C is also correct.
See, I couldn't remember if they moved initially, because I know that he moves out in the third movie, but I couldn't remember if that was a thing in any other movie.
So you'll remember the finale of the first movie is them trying to catch the moving truck.
Fuck, that's so right. That's true. I can't. Okay, I'm gonna get this next one.
All right. So we're moving on to video game monetization.
Oh fuck.
So for this question, you'll have to arrange the following video game monetization methods from oldest to newest. So the ones we have listed here are cosmetic DLC, Xbox Live Gold, arcades, and battle passes. So, oldest to newest.
Okay, well, arcades is first. That's old. And then we're gonna go to cosmetic DLC. No, we're not. I'm taking that back. I take that back. Don't mark that down.
All right. I'm not writing anything.
Okay. Cosmetic DLC and Xbox Live Gold are both products of the internet. So, oh man, this is a battle passes. I know is last. So it's arcades, something battle passes. I feel like cosmetic DLC came first and then Xbox Live Gold did. I feel like Xbox Live Gold. I feel like the cosmetic DLC was like, because we talked about the horse armor, you know.
Yes, we did. Yep.
And I feel like the horse armor predates Xbox Live Gold. I'm gonna say arcades, Xbox Live Gold, cosmetic cosmetic DLC, Xbox Live Gold battle passes.
Okay, so your answer is arcades, cosmetic DLC, Xbox Live Gold, and battle passes.
I really want to switch it around. Yes.
Incorrect.
Fucking Christ.
So of course the arcades came first.
Yeah.
Then followed by Xbox Live Gold. Then we got cosmetic DLC, and finally battle passes.
Man, I knew it. I knew that I should have swapped them. I knew it. I got to stop second guessing myself.
All right, next up, you will have to match the game with its primary monetization model.
Jesus fucking Christ.
So,
okay, let's do it.
On the left, I've got a list of games. We've got World of Warcraft, Fortnite, Candy Crush, The Witcher 3, and Overwatch 1. On the right, we've got a list of monetization methods, those being microtransactions, subscriptions, loot boxes, cosmetic skins, and DLC expansions. So, work your way down the list and match the game with its monetization method.
Okay. Fortnite is cosmetic skins. Overwatch 1 is loot boxes. Witcher 3, I know has a couple DLC expansions, but I also know that World of Warcraft does. I'm going to say subscription for World of Warcraft, DLC for Witcher 3, and then subscription for Candy Crush. Or no, no, microtransactions was... Okay, hold on. I confused myself.
Why don't you start at the top of the game list and match them?
I know, but World of Warcraft is subscription-based, I think. And then Fortnite is cosmetic skins. Candy Crush is microtransactions. The Witcher 3 is DLC expansions, and Overwatch 1 is loot boxes.
Feel good about that?
I think so.
That's correct.
Okay. Woo, okay, we're back. I'm back in the game,
We are so back.
baby. Yes, we're so back.
Next up, we've got a map of the United States, which is colored in 3 different sections, and those sections represent the majority of people who say pop, soda, or Coke. So this is in reference to our divisive issues episode. So most of the Midwest and kind of northern part of the country, the biggest portion is blue, while
Yes.
we've got a section that's red, and that's in like the East Coast, a bit of Florida, and then California. And then we've got the South with Texas and all those dumb fuck states down there, and that one is green. So you're going to have to match up the portion of the country with what they say, pop, soda, or Coke.
Okay. Okay, the green is Coke, the red is soda, the blue is pop. Final answer.
Absolutely correct.
Yeah, no, that was a freebie. You're making them too easy these days, Carl.
Oh, don't tempt me, Mel. Okay, in the same vein, we're going to be looking at selecting the most popular of the two preferences for each category. So this is based
Okay.
on my research, what I found online when seeing what do the majority of people prefer when they're polled. So
Okay.
I've got 4 categories here, and then you get to pick which of those you think the majority of people prefer based on my research. So first
I
is...
think that I should get this one.
Okay. First is creamy peanut butter versus crunchy peanut butter.
Oh, do I say it now? Creamy, 100%.
Creamy. All right. Next is fries with ketchup versus fries with mayonnaise.
Ketchup, 100%, all the way, baby.
Next is toilet paper hanging over or toilet paper hanging under.
Over.
And last is GIF or JIF.
I think more people say GIF.
Absolutely correct. 4 for 4.
All right, I'm back. I'm hitting my stride. I had a bit of a dip, but I think all great athletes do, and I'm simply
Athletes.
rising up. Yeah. I'm kind of like a bit of like an underdog story now, because I had the lead, and then I lost it, but I'm crawling my way back up.
Let's see if you can just have a flawless run to the end here.
Yeah, I think that I've really come into my own.
Yeah, you made it past that question, which I thought you would second guess yourself and think, no way, it's the first option for everyone.
You know what? You were not wrong to count on my very uncertain nature, but I was confident in that one.
All right, let's move on to the dark side of nostalgia.
Nice. This is a good episode.
Which of the following animated Disney movies have not been remade? So you can have one or more answer for this one.
Brother, I legitimately have no idea what the fuck Oliver and Company is.
Well, let's read the options, because I want the audio listeners to play along here.
Okay.
Option A is Lady and the Tramp, followed by Oliver and Company, 101 Dalmatians, Cinderella, and The Little Mermaid. So which movie or movies have not been remade?
So it could be multiple.
Yes. It's one or more of these movies have not been remade.
I don't think I feel like Lady and the Tramp is something they would have remade, but I don't ever recall, or like, I don't remember seeing any sort of advertisement for a Lady and the Tramp remake. I feel like it exists, but I don't like have any like actual like anecdotal evidence for that. I remember nothing. I'm just assuming something like that probably would. Let's go A and B.
A and B. So you think Lady and the Tramp and Oliver and Company were not remade?
Yes.
Well, you're half right.
Half right. Wait, there was never a live action 101 Dalmatians, was there? What the fuck? What am I talking about?
Absolutely, there was.
There was? There's a live action 101 Dalmatians?
The only movie on this list that was not remade is the one you don't know, Oliver and Company.
I fucking knew it. I should have. You tricked me up by saying more than one.
So every other movie, Lady and the Tramp, 101 Dalmatians, Cinderella, Little Mermaid, all remade.
Oh yeah, the 101 Dalmatians one is just old.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn, I should have just stuck with B because I knew that shit was. I didn't even know that. I'm literally like looking that up. I have no idea what that movie is.
Yeah, I had no idea that Cinderella got remade, but there it was.
Dude, that would be like Oliver. Oh, Oliver and Company's The Cat movie.
Yeah, it's a little cat. Little cat in the big city.
Billy Joel plays Artful Dodger?
All right, Mel, don't get too down on yourself just because you got one incorrect.
Hey. When have I ever gotten down? I've been cool, calm, and collected this entire video.
Oh, I don't recall it that way, but all right. Next question. In this one, you will have to categorize the following franchises as having a reboot, a late sequel, or neither.
Okay.
So of the following franchises, I will list them. Blade Runner, House MD, Ghostbusters, Back to the Future, Halloween, Bill and Ted. So
Okay.
you have to go down the list and say, did they get a reboot, did they get a late sequel, or neither?
Okay. Blade Runner is a sequel because Harrison Ford is also in that one. House MD, I'm going to say is a reboot. Ghostbusters, I'm also going to say is a sequel because I think there's some sort of reference to like the original. Maybe a cameo. Back to the Future is neither. That was just 3 movies, 3 and done. Those were just they all came out pretty close to each other. Halloween's a late sequel because Jamie Lee Curtis is in it, and also it's a kind of like it's kind of a reboot, but like it picks up after the first movie, so it's technically a sequel. Bill and Ted is also a sequel.
Okay, you got most of them right.
What the fuck? What did I get wrong? Tell me what I got wrong right now.
House was never rebooted or got a sequel or anything.
No, I thought I was just throwing caution to the wind there. I was just guessing.
So this next question is from our Things That Aged Poorly episode.
Oh,
So,
wow, okay.
in this one, you'll have to match the brand to their poorly aged ad campaign. So on the left, we've got brands. We've got Farm Sanctuary, Marlboro, Fairy Soap, Warner's, and Kraft. And on the right,
Okay.
we've got aspects of their poorly aged ad campaign, those being body shaming, objectification, child endangerment, hypocrisy, and racism.
Okay, this is tough because I don't remember ever discussing Kraft, so I'm just gonna have to guess on that one.
Okay.
I do know that Fairy Soap was racist. I do know that Marlboro was child endangerment because they had the cool fucking camel who was cool as shit, and they were like, "That's too cool for kids." Whatever. History repeats itself, I guess. Warner's, I don't even really remember what the fuck they are. So I'm just gonna guess and be like, yeah, objectification. Kraft, maybe hypocrisy. Farm Sanctuary, maybe body shaming. What the fuck? Farm Sanctuary? What the fuck is that?
All right, Val, I'm going to make this a little easier for you. So
Okay.
Farm Sanctuary is in relation to animals. Warner's
Okay.
is they make bras. And Kraft, they make salad dressing, of course.
Oh yeah, I remember the salad dressing.
So based on that, can you match them up with their bad ad campaign?
Yeah, Farm Sanctuary. I'm gonna say hypocrisy. Marlboro was child endangerment. Fairy Soap was racism. Warner's was fucking body shaming. I think because they made the bras and they were like, you can't be fat or whatever. And then Kraft. Was Kraft hypocrisy and Farm Sanctuary objectification? Okay, final answer. I feel like that's wrong. Farm objectification, Marlboro child endangerment, Fairy racism, Warner's body shaming, and Kraft hypocrisy.
Incorrect.
Fuck, I knew it.
Farm Sanctuary was the Demi Lovato ad where she was later cooking a turkey.
Right. Dude, I watched that short today. I watched that short literally today.
And Kraft was the sexy man with his zesty dressing.
Oh my god, yes.
So objectification.
Oh my god, I cannot believe it. I feel like, man, the second you say it, I'm like, oh, I recognize it. Let me do a do-over.
Mhm.
I know it now. Let me retry it now that I know the answer.
Yeah. This is the last 2 questions.
Okay.
These 2 questions are from our cartoon controversy episode.
Okay.
So this first one, I'll ask you to match the episode with the method of censorship. On the left, I have 4 episodes, 200 and 201, partial terms of endearment, midlife crustacean, and electric soldier Porygon. And on the right, I've got 4 means of censorship.
Okay.
Removed from streaming, unaired in the US, unaired on TV, and banned. So, can you match these?
Yeah, so Midlife Castration was unaired in the US because they aired it like once and they were like, never mind. Electric Soldier Porygon was unaired on TV. Unaired everywhere because it was in Japan and the U.S. Shield 100 and 201 was the South Park episode, and that shit was I think Partial Terms of Endearment was just banned, and then 200 and 201 were removed from streaming.
Okay, do you feel confident about that answer?
Not really, but we'll stick with it.
Well, you're way off.
What the fuck?
Wait, I don't know if you got a single one of those right.
Oh, wow, that's embarrassing. That's really bad.
So 200 and 201, that was the South Park finale.
Yeah,
or South Park 200
Muhammad.
special with Muhammad, yes. And that one was straight up banned.
I thought you could watch that. Can you not watch that anywhere?
No, you cannot. There's no legal means of watching those episodes.
Oh fuck! I thought you could watch it on like. Okay, wow.
Totally banned. Partial Terms of Endearment, that was the Family Guy episode, and that was unaired on TV because they sold it with their DVD. Midlife Crustacean, that was removed from streaming because they showed it on TV plenty of times, and then when the show got bought by Paramount or whatever,
That's right.
they removed it from their streaming service. And Electric Soldier Porygon was unaired in the US because it aired in Japan and gave a bunch of kids seizures, so they never showed it here.
Oh, okay, I understand. Wow, yeah, I was really off. That was
And that was from our
horrendous.
most recent episode, too.
I know, right? Wow, crazy. You'd think that I would. Damn. I have nothing to say. I will make no excuses.
Okay, this is the last question. Can you end this
Okay.
quiz on a good note?
Maybe.
So I will ask you to name 5 members of the controversial group, the Super Best Friends. And I'll give you a hint. All of these members are, well, most of these members are religious figures.
Yes. So I know that Jesus is one. I know that Buddha is one. Muhammad is one. I can't remember the Hindu guy. I can't remember if it's Shiva or Vishnu. I think it's maybe Vishnu. And then, let's say Confucius.
So you haven't seen this episode, is that correct?
No, I'm actually not a avid South Park watcher.
Okay. So I didn't ask you to name them all because some of these are fucking ridiculous. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, I think you got 3. It's Muhammad, Buddha, Moses, which is the triangle guy.
That's Moses?
That's apparently is what Moses looks like in the South Park universe, and he
okay.
demands macaroni pictures. Joseph
Okay.
Smith is that dapper-looking blonde
Mormonism.
dude. Krishna.
Krishna, that's right.
Lao Zi is the old short Chinese guy.
I thought that was Confucius.
And Seaman is the Aquaman ripoff guy.
Oh yeah, I should have known. I should have known that was Seaman. Everyone knows who that is.
Everybody knows and loves Seaman. All right, Mel, I was not keeping score. I didn't intend to. I'm just going to say you passed.
Nice. It was okay, cool. It was like that was just to keep me on my toes.
From my mental notes, it seems like you got more right than you did wrong.
Yeah, let's not verify that. Let's just go with that and just say that it's correct.
So now you have to be prepared because at the finale of next season, I'm going to do the same thing.
Yeah, and I will be prepared. I'll be listening to the episodes on repeat.
Okay, let's move on to the second portion of this. We're going to be looking at some of our spiciest comments. Some people
Okay,
who
I'm
didn't
ready.
quite like some of the things we said, or maybe a few people, I suppose, brought up some good counterpoints to what we've said.
Yeah, few and far between.
Yeah, not very many of those, but I tried to
No.
pull some good ones. These first ones are from our short, Were 90s Video Games Better?
Yes.
And first comment says, LMAO, this guy doesn't even look a day past 20. So apparently because you're so young, you are not allowed to speak on things that happened before you were born?
Yeah, he was just upset that I was right.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
tell that to all the historians who cover all these events as if they're some kind of scholars. I mean, they weren't even there.
Yeah, man.
So how could they know?
I don't gotta be alive during an era of something to understand the facets and nuance of the culture that permeated throughout that time period. Go fuck yourself.
And another comment says, I ain't taking the guy with the cat headphones serious.
Hey, listen, that's just an insult directed toward my immutable traits. I was born with these on my head. I have no process way of removing them. You're attacking me for my appearance when my opinions are valid. That's what's that called? Ad hominem?
Yeah.
Fucking ad hominem, bro.
They don't like that you said 90s video games are better, so they just gotta attack the way you look.
Well, listen, man. That's exactly what I was right about something that they didn't want me to be right. I'm being really defensive right now. I'm not actually. I don't actually mean this. I'm. Those comments I think are funny as fuck. I've gotten a lot of cat ear comments.
Yeah.
And at this point, but the thing is really I've come to accept that not only are the cat ears like funny, but also if they spark that much outrage, like how could I take them off?
I mean, they're eye-catching,
Like how could
too. Makes people stop and watch the short.
Yeah, but the thing is like if that many people are gonna get upset that I'm wearing them, like,
Yeah.
I have to keep doing it.
Absolutely.
Like I have to perpetuate that.
I mean, it makes people
outcry.
go out of their way to leave us a comment. So you're driving engagement with these cat ears.
Yeah, exactly. I'm really doing it for the benefit of the podcast.
And this next person also says, cat ears, really? I am going to end the call right away if I were him.
Yeah, this comment, like most on YouTube Shorts, was written by a child. So I'm gonna be a little lenient on my response because I believe that I've taken it upon myself to assume the responsibility of educating the youth, the next generation of America. So hey, it's okay. Cat ears, really? I'm gonna end the. Actually, he said I'm gonna end the call right away if I were him, referring to you.
Right.
And you didn't end the call, right?
You know, I can't even actually see you when we do the podcast, so I don't know what you're wearing at the time.
I think it's crazy. I'm wearing a gimp suit right now.
And I won't know until I edit the show.
Yeah. But I like this comment. I really love this comment a lot because it kind of like operates from the assumption that like I just kind of like spontaneously just called you one day to have this discussion, and then like you were taken aback by my appearance. Like you were like, "Oh, if I were him, I would have ended the call." What do you mean?
Who is this cat-eared freak calling me?
Yeah, this is a planned event. We get together every week. We have a schedule. So I thought that comment was really funny. I loved how intense it was. I also couldn't help but notice that every comment we've talked about so far are negative comments directed towards me. I bet you got a lot of. I bet you've gotten a lot of heat too over the past couple weeks. I'm sure.
Well, let's see. This last one of this short is kind of an argument, but not really. They say, no, it's because percentage-wise, it was better. You mustn't have ever looked at a new releases on Steam for like a decade to think this is a valid argument.
This comment is half correct.
Uh-huh.
I'll give it merit that Steam, after relaxing their guidelines, any dumb bullshit can be put up on Steam, right? The accessibility to get a video game published is higher than ever, and so there will be more and more and more shittier video games the more publishing shitty video games becomes accessible. This comment is not wrong. However, if we want to look at like a per capita situation, like there is still a large amount of video games that came out in the 90s that have been lost to the sands of time because they're garbage and didn't withstand the test of time. This comment is right that these days there are so many more worse video games because anybody can make a video game and anybody can make a shitty video game. That is true. However, the dismissal of what I said as a valid argument is where I disagree, because we can both be right. Both of us can be right in that regard. I'm making the argument that the shitty video games from the 90s haven't withstood the test of time, and we only look back upon those games in that time period more fondly because we've forgotten what sucked about it. This person is arguing that more and more shitty video games are coming out because Steam lets anything on. These are both true and valid statements.
But you're not allowed to be right, Mel. I'm sorry.
I guess not. I'm not allowed to be... and if I am right, I get insulted.
So these next two comments are from the Great Toothpaste Debate, where you and I disagreed about how to properly wet your toothbrush.
Okay.
This person says, I don't just run water over my brush, I run my thumb over the bristles and clean it off. Y'all do know that smell from your excrement are particles of shit and piss that float in the air, right? Gotta clean off the brush before putting it in your mouth.
This was, I think, an entirely different argument than we were having.
Well, I think they were giving us some additional advice, as it's not enough to do what we were doing. You need to, just brush it with your thumb to get all that shit out of it.
Listen, I know that excrement particles do escape the toilet. Like, I know that they get on surfaces even if you can't see them. I keep a toothbrush locked away in a cabinet.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And
covered.
Yeah, I have a case for it.
And this person's just freeballing it. They just leave it out in their sink in a cup and get all their shit all over it.
Yeah, dude. If you fucking leave your toothbrush out in the open, just like laying on like your sink or the back of your toilet, yeah, dude, it's more susceptible to getting pee pee and poo poo on it, bro. But I take care of my toothbrush because it is something that I'm putting in my mouth.
Well, this next person is also giving us some good advice. They say after you brush your teeth, you drink a huge glass of orange juice, and 4 people liked that.
I would say there is a reason that this comment has 4 likes and the other comment on the same video has 0 likes, because this person knows what the fuck is up.
Yeah.
Brush your teeth after you drink a huge glass of orange juice. Everyone knows that.
Well, other way around. You brush your teeth, then you drink the orange juice.
Hey, either way, baby. Same result.
All right, here's another butthurt comment. This is from our best movie of the decade short, where you claimed that Oppenheimer was the best movie of the decade, in your opinion.
Yes, in my opinion, and I
you're not allowed to have an opinion because people assume that you're stating absolute fact.
That's what I have learned from the general opinions from the audience that primarily directs their attention to YouTube Shorts. That is what I've learned, is that I'm not allowed to have an opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I've been cancel culture at it again. The woke liberals are canceling me, and I can't have an opinion.
So this person says, "Sure, this year, but the decade. Are we just going to pretend Everything Everywhere All at Once didn't come out last year and belongs in the top 20 movies of all time?"
Crazy bold statement. I loved that movie, and top 20 movies of all time is a really bold statement. Actually, yeah. I mean, first of all, the decade, it's only been 4 years max. Like, we're only in January. But the thing is Everything Everywhere All at Once, like, is still an amazing movie. I mean, I would probably put it in. I would maybe put it in my top 20 movies of all time.
Yeah.
But I think that Oppenheimer was better. I think it had better direction. I think it had a much more cohesive and well thought out writing narrative. I like it more. I mean, if Oppenheimer was number 1 for me of the decade, I would probably put Everything Everywhere All at Once like in the top 5 of the decade as well, maybe even number 2.
See, what this person should have said is, if I got to pick my best movie of the decade, I would say it's Everything Everywhere All at Once. That's
the kind of I like when people disagree with me because it creates discourse. Like, we get to talk about stuff. But this person is approaching it from the wrong angle.
They're upset not because they didn't really like Oppenheimer, they thought it was mid, but they're like, there's a better movie that I like more that belongs at this best movie of the decade list, and you didn't even mention it. And lastly, someone else is commenting about your cat ears, and they say, "I see why you wear cat ears," as if your opinion somehow correlates to that.
Yeah, dude, this comment has haunted me for weeks. I have no idea what it means. You posted a YouTube short where I said that I thought Oppenheimer was the best movie of the decade, and this person's like, "All right, I see why you wear cat ears. I can see why you do that." What does this mean? I don't.
Here's what I think. I think it's because you're following the trend of thinking Oppenheimer is a great movie, and this person's a contrarian and they're saying, well, if you were like me and you went against the grain, you wouldn't be wearing those cat ears like every gamer boy out there and thinking Oppenheimer was the greatest movie of all time.
Dude, I've had these cat ears since I was in high school.
Yeah, back when you were an e-boy. I
don't have enough information to make an assumption about what this means. Like, I want to know what they meant by this comment. I should have just asked.
I think it's pretty clear.
I don't think it is.
You're a basic bitch.
I don't know, but we don't know that. We don't know that that's what they're saying. That could be a positive comment. They could say, "Hey, great opinions, great cat ears."
Yeah, maybe you're right.
All I'm saying is that we should not jump to conclusions on the intention behind this person's comment. It could be anything.
Of course, you want to read this one favorably.
Yeah, no, this shit has just been on. I keep coming back to it. I'm like, what the fuck does this mean? It's such a good comment.
All right, next up, we got quite a bit of controversy over our why Roseanne was canceled short, and people were arguing in the comments a bit in the replies.
Yeah, I figured that would spark a lot of anger from people who think behavior like that is defendable or even in some cases commendable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, somebody said something racist and they had consequences they had social and career consequences as a result of saying something racist. I don't even know like what there is to argue about that.
So just for context, here is Roseanne Barr's tweet. Muslim Brotherhood and Planet of the Apes had a baby equals VJ, which is in reference to Valerie Jarrett. I think that's how you pronounce her name. Anyway, she was an advisor for Obama, and she is black. So, in a way, she compared what she perceived to be Muslim Brotherhood ideas, because, apparently Obama's a Muslim and all that. And Planet of the Apes, I'm not sure where that comes from, other than maybe her appearance. And so that's why she got canceled, because of all that Ambien tweets that she put out there.
Like, I get that these people will blindly defend their elected figurehead of the week. They have a martyr every single week, somebody to spearhead a fucking bullshit movement that makes literally no sense. It was Roseanne. It was Kyle Rittenhouse. It was Tom McDonald a couple times. Like, they don't care what the actual context of the situation is. They just need somebody to represent their movement, like a martyr. And Roseanne was a martyr because she got fired from her show.
Right. Well, this person says she didn't make any racist remarks, period. She didn't care that they canceled the show. She's doing fine. The show is losing without her.
That's the thing, though. It doesn't matter how the show is affected by her loss. It's the right thing to do by, it's like, oh, what's Rick and Morty gonna be without Justin Roiland? Doesn't matter. He's a fucking weird guy, and they got rid of him because he was awful to work with.
Yeah, I mean, this guy just comes out and claims she didn't make any racist remarks.
She just did. She literally did.
I read the tweet and wasn't racist. I detected 0% racism in that tweet.
People took it out of context. What context?
Yeah, next comment said people clearly took her out of context and said it was racist when it was not. And
yeah, I've jokingly been responding to all of these comments. Like, none of the comments that are negative. Like, I don't give a shit about like somebody making fun of like the cat. Like, listen, I'm a grown ass man. I'm 23 years old. Like, if you want to criticize me for wearing the cat ears on my headphones, that's valid. I'm a grown adult wearing these things. I get it. So all of those comments don't actually bother me. I think they're really funny, whatever. But comments like these are like you're squinting really hard and kind of contorting and abstracting a situation to defend somebody that is a representative of your ideology. But it's like, this is like, I think it's like, it's just willfully ignorant to be like, she didn't say anything racist. It's out of context. No, yeah. I mean, she said something racist, and it's okay to call her out for that. You can still like Roseanne the show. Like, you can still enjoy the show and also acknowledge that she said some fucked up shit.
Yeah, I'm struggling to see what the context is exactly. I can't really read this in a way other than racism.
No, yeah, the context is that she's racist, but...
This person says, speaking on the political similarities between somebody's policy positions and a popular movie franchise isn't racist. So you are either willfully ignorant or disingenuous. Which one? I'd like to think both.
I'm both.
We're both.
I remember reading this comment and being so confused.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even really understand the point that they're trying to make. It has a like, so somebody out there understood it, but I don't get the point. So speaking on the political similarities between somebody's policy positions in a popular movie franchise isn't racist. So they're saying, hey, this person's political views and the I suppose the presented ideology that is held in the Planet of the Apes movie isn't racist. This person is arguing, oh, they weren't like saying Planet of the Apes in reference to the person's ethnicity. They were saying, oh, that this person their political views are being compared to the political views presented in the Planet of the Apes movie. I mean, god damn, that is a stretch.
That is a stretch. Okay, let's move on. These two comments are from our Star Wars sequels short. In that short, I must have said something like, let's do something else. And this person says, do something else? They have entire franchises, TV shows, other movies, shorts, games, etc. of something else.
Well, they're saying do something else as in, like, telling us that's what we should do instead of complaining about, like, oh, you don't like the movies? Then do something else then. They have entire other pieces of media. This comment is, once again, it's kind of silly because even if Star Wars has multiple TV shows, that are available to watch that expand upon the universe. If they make a movie that I think is bad, I'm gonna call it bad. Like, even if there's other stuff to consume, I'm still allowed to criticize some facets of the franchise, of the extended universe. I just think it's silly when somebody's like, you don't like this thing? Watch something else. I like Star Wars, and I was disappointed to see a bad Star Wars movie.
Same. In that short, I am specifically talking about the movies, and that context is included there. I talked about the sequel trilogy and how they couldn't help themselves but, follow the same cast of characters for, the third trilogy in a row. So that's why I said do something else. And they're saying, well, they have other different kind of media that focuses on other things, which is also kind of incorrect because nearly every one of those spin-off movies and TV shows and so on and so forth, most of that stuff still revolves around the Skywalker saga era. There are exceptions to that, and that's great. I think that's good, but that's not what I was talking about in that short.
Yeah, listen, I get why this person is upset. I get wanting to defend your favorite IP, your favorite franchise. Like, I understand wanting to jump to the defense of something you like that somebody else is criticizing. But, however, you should be able to learn how to enjoy the franchises and IPs that you enjoy in a vacuum outside of the social element and social context of those things. If you don't like seeing people criticize what you enjoy, you should be able to still enjoy it. If I don't like something and I gain some sort of positive, or even I gain some sort of social or intellectual experience from discussing my distaste for something, in this case, I like Star Wars. I think that the new trilogy is bad. I'm going to talk about how bad it is because that's something that I enjoy discussing. If you don't like talking about that, that's fine. I respect that.
Yeah, this person is technically correct, but they missed the point of the short. It is true that they have other media that focuses on other time periods and such. But yes. I was specifically talking about why the sequel series failed to innovate. That is the title of the short. So I was specifically referring to the sequel trilogy. And then this next question, which is probably like the cringiest one of all, but I guess we're not through the list yet.
This one's really bad.
When the normies begin to understand, seriously, how long have you been in the conversation? We've known this since 2015. It's 2023, bro.
This comment, I don't really have a lot to say other than it was just weird. When normies begin to understand seriously how long you've been, I don't know. I've been in the conversation since I was a kid. I like how he says we've known this. Like they're a separate fringe group, seeing through the cracks before anybody else. It was just a silly comment. I thought it was pretty cringy, but I was like, okay, whatever. Fine.
I mean, first of all, they call us normies because I don't know. They saw this 60-second clip of us, and now they know exactly what we're into and our knowledge of Star Wars and such.
That is just the nature of short form content. That's just part of it.
And then they say, "Oh, we've known this since 2015. It's 2023. Why are you talking? Did you just come to this conclusion?" So the way that our podcast works is that we usually look back at things and we commentate on things that have already happened or trends in media and such. So it's not as if we just came to this conclusion that the Star Wars sequels failed to innovate just right then and there in 2023. We were doing a bit of a retrospective in our episode about that series, and that was our commentary on it at the time.
Hey man, you're assuming that this person put thought into what they're saying. We should start providing commentary on things that haven't happened yet. That way, we're always ahead of the curve. That way we're always ahead of the curve, and we're ahead of the normies.
Good point.
I think that would be something that we should look into.
Absolutely. I'll get my crystal ball.
Yeah, there we go.
We got another funny one here. This is from our Ghostbusters 2016 short. And this person just says, cringe reactionaries, go actually make something. And someone below says, LMAO, so true.
This comment made me react like a normal person, and I did not have any sort of hasty or emotionally charged response to it. Totally just ignored it. Ignored this comment like a normal person. I didn't even say anything.
I read this comment and I only cried for 20 minutes.
Yeah, no, I definitely did not respond to it in an emotionally charged way in any capacity. And I definitely didn't make a tweet about it either.
No.
No, I handled it like a normal person would handle a negative comment by acknowledging it and moving on about their day, not having it impact it in any way.
All right. Next up, here's somebody who actually has a point. And yeah, you also responded to this one, but maybe you can touch on it again. This is in response to our Ghostbusters short again, where we talk about how, well, this is Ghostbusters for ladies.
Yeah, this person was super wrong actually, and I was nice about it because I could understand that they were coming from a good place. But I definitely super disagree with what they said. Also, I thought that like that was a popular opinion, by the way. I was under the impression that a lot of people agreed that the 2016 Ghostbusters was maybe a little bit pandering and maybe a little bit patronizing. Like, it kind of like insults the intelligence of like a woman watching Ghostbusters. It was like, oh, this is your Ghostbusters thing, but it's Ghostbusters but women. Like, I thought it was a very popular opinion that was like a kind of patronizing cinematic endeavor.
Well, you'll always find somebody.
I know. I was surprised to see somebody so upset about it.
Okay, well, let's hear what they have to say.
Yeah.
Y'all are bringing weird baggage to this. This is like saying Miles Morales was Marvel saying that black people can't enjoy Peter Parker. No, it's just a different thing with the same IP. Like, hate or dislike whatever movie you want, but these takes were weird. It also weirdly implies that you think they didn't want men to see the movie. LOL, it's not segregation.
It doesn't imply men didn't want to see the movie. It was implied that the movie's marketing was based around taking a movie and remaking it for a primary demographic of women. Because that was the marketing. It was like, this is Ghostbusters, but hey, the 4 Ghostbusters are now 4 women. Like, yeah, that's the marketing. You know, that's kind of like what the movie was sort of centered around. And I think where this person kind of like misses the point a little bit is the difference in intention. In marketing. So they're saying, oh, you saying this is like saying that Miles Morales was Spider-Man for black people because black people can't enjoy white Spider-Man. No, that's not the same fucking thing at all, actually.
No.
And you know, Miles Morales is a character with a different intention and goal behind him as a character.
Yeah, I mean, he's got other things about him that differentiate him from Peter Parker than just being black.
And so so my entire point is that the intention behind the 2016 Ghostbusters to some extent felt malicious. Now, this comment in between our 2 comments here, was defending me, but like I was not happy about it. I was super unhappy that this was who came to my aid.
Yeah, we don't want this.
Yeah, no, I was, and they responded to another comment of mine where they were like, keep it up. And it's like, you also misinterpreted this person. You think race swapping Spider-Man wasn't all about pandering to the real racist? What are you talking about, dude?
Yeah, who are the real racists?
No, that's not, I do not want this person defending me because I do not agree. The Ghostbusters movie was totally insulting. I kind of agree with that. And the insinuation that the men had their turn and we can do better for the women, it's not the same thing. It's the message. They really don't need more simps. These 2 are right. I appreciate that you think I'm right, but you think I'm right for the wrong reasons. This comment feels way more racist and it feels way more sexist than anything anybody else said. I do agree that the intention behind the movie felt a little dubious, but this comment, I was like not happy that it came to my defense. I was like, fuck. I was like, this is who I've got on my side. I've got like this weird like race theory person on my side. It's fucking awful.
If we criticize something that's like too PC or too inclusive for the wrong reasons, then of course the people are going to come out, the right-wing people are going to come out and say, these guys are right, yeah, down with the feminism and, you know, the real racists.
Yeah, like I was saying, yeah, exactly. Dude, the real racist is such a funny phrase to me.
This original comment is they're kind of strawmanning us and saying, well, if you made this argument, then of course you must think this about this IP as well.
Yes, exactly.
Just not true.
Was a little silly.
Comic books are very notable for being, you know, reworked and reimagined all the time. So you get different gendered versions, different race versions, different species versions of superheroes. You got zombie versions of superheroes. So like having Miles Morales be a different version of Spider-Man is like totally just par for the course. Like, we would not make that same argument about that IP.
You're right. The person was strawmanning the hell out of us, and I was like, I'm not going to respond to this. And I was like, okay, well, this person thinks I'm a weird sexist, I'm a weird misogynist, and this other person who is a weird misogynist is defending me.
Uh-huh.
So I think that I might need to hop in here and clarify a few things.
Okay, and lastly, we have a comment on our Did Our Cancel Culture Go Too Far short, which is in reference to Justin Roiland being canceled. And this person says, yep, all you need to do to ruin a man's life in the current year is accuse them of something. Cancel culture will literally just throw you away without knowing anything for sure. And last time I checked, being a weird guy isn't a crime. This is why it's so hard being autistic in any way and being white or male. You're literally walking on fucking eggshells 24/7 in hopes of not upsetting some little crybaby.
I actually missed this comment. I didn't see this. I didn't see this one, but I'm really glad
It's
that
a
you're
doozy.
introducing. It's a lot. It's a lot to take in. So I'm glad that you've introduced it to me because, like I said, I was unfamiliar with this comment. This is, I mean, I don't know. This is kind of the same argument that you hear all the time. Oh, cancel culture ruins people's lives without evidence. But I feel like I addressed that pretty fairly. I wasn't saying that him being a weird guy was a crime. I was saying that even though Justin Roiland was never convicted of any sort of crime, which was false imprisonment and like domestic abuse. Even though he wasn't convicted of that, those accusations led to a bit of a snowball, a bit of a rabbit hole being exposed of a lot of behavior that he's exhibited over the past few years that I and many other people would deem problematic.
Mm-hmm.
Has he committed a crime? There is no court of law that has determined that yes is the answer to that question. Has there been enough social evidence to show that he has had behavior that is awful to be around in an occupational environment? So the people that worked with him were having an awful time being around him. And he also exhibited incredibly weird and predatory behavior towards vulnerable groups of people, such as minors. That's enough for me to come to the conclusion, hey, even if this guy hasn't been committed a crime, in no way or capacity would I want to associate with him or the work that he's done.
And Adult Swim must have felt the same way because that's why they parted ways with him.
Exactly. So this person saying, last time I checked, being a weird guy isn't a crime. You're right, it's not. But I think you're misconstruing what I meant when I called him that. This is why it's so hard being autistic in any way. That is true. I do agree with that. Being autistic is incredibly hard because a lot of the time, the social behaviors that come with being autistic make you more susceptible to judgment because a lot of people are either unfamiliar with how autism affects somebody or are even prejudiced towards how autism affects somebody and view autistic people as weird or undesirable. So that is true. It is very difficult being autistic and being white and male. You lost me a little bit, but I'll stick with you. Basically, you're walking on eggshells 24/7 in hopes of not upsetting some little crybaby. I think that you're ignoring the main problem. It's not that Justin Roiland was like socially awkward, and I think he's a weird guy for being socially awkward. I think he's a weird guy for how he's behaved towards the people that he surrounded himself with, either in an occupational environment or even just a social one. I thought that his behavior was rather unbecoming. I thought that it was kind of creepy, and I don't like creepy and predatory people. So I feel like this comment just kind of missed my point, and that's okay because we're all here to talk and discuss. But yeah, you're fucking wrong.
Amel, don't tell me you're gonna agree with this person when they say it's hard being a white male.
No, fuck no. It's not hard at all. I'm a white male, and that shit has I'm very aware of the benefits that has bestowed upon me in many different contexts. I understand the autistic thing. I 100% agree with. But being white and male, I don't think that Justin Roiland was socially persecuted for being a white man.
Right.
That's not anything that he had to worry about.
This is just one of these brain-dead right-wing guys who thinks that cancel culture's gotten out of hand and I am now the victim in society. Being a white male is now the lowest peg in the societal hierarchy. And I have to tiptoe around every little thing, otherwise I'll get canceled or somebody will accuse me of doing something terrible because, oh, woe is me, I'm just a white male in this world that's against me. As if white males like ourselves haven't had it the easiest for ever, and we still do to this day. But, everybody seems to benefit and have this kind of victim currency mentality where the more of a victim you are, the more important your opinion is. So now, white males in the position of power want to pretend that they're the victims and that, they don't have this privilege and this power that they have, and they want to just, boo-hoo about cancel culture. So, I mean, fuck this comment.
Yeah, it's kind of like a boring argument to me. As a straight white man, the roles have been reversed, and I am now one of the most persecuted and like oppressed members of society. The argument's just a little boring. And listen, if you wanna get in the comments and you wanna be like, oh, look at this guy with his white guilt saying, oh, I'm a straight white man and I know what privilege I had. You can say that about me all you want. But I don't care. I think it's really silly to pretend that a white man is the most oppressed member of society. It's because it's just not like like it's like just like demonstrably false.
Mm-hmm.
So you can call me a libtard. You can call me a white knight. You can call me whatever you want. I'm not going to change my mind on that.
Okay, well, this has been our season 1 finale extravaganza.
Let's go.
So we'll be back next week with the first episode of season 2. We're just going to keep these episodes rolling. We're going to be back with another interesting and controversial topic for the next episode.
Can't wait.
And hopefully at the end of every season, whenever I decide the next season's going to end, we will do something just like this. So keep those comments coming. And Mel, you better pay attention when I present my information.
Yeah, I'll be sure to pay a lot better of attention now that I know what is headed my way in my direction at the end of the season.
Okay, we will see you next Tuesday on the next episode of The Long Couch. Bye.
Bye.